But we are currently setting up. We're ready to go, and mate, this may be a PvP, but this is going to be on a map that we haven't had today.
Yeah, and it's going to be a PvP between two very interesting players who really do play differently, don't they? Like,
yeah. I mean, you say that. These are some players who have made names for themselves. Some for good reasons, some for bad reasons. And I'm now excited because I've just recalled that we're casting Patience.
Yeah, Patience will always be legendary on this channel, but before we get into that or why, we are going to be getting into the Golden Wall, held up by the Pillars of Gold, protecting the Eternal Empire, of which the LE submarines are kept locked and secure. On the left-hand side of the map, spawning all the way in the left-hand side of the map, we have the blue Protoss, the one who blesses the rains. He is coming out all the way from South Korea, representing Africa Freaks. We have Stats. Boys.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Wall LE, we have the Korean Protoss player representing Team LP. It is Patience.
LP. Otherwise known as Team Grandmother.
Indeed, as that is what it translates to, right?
In one of the dialects, yeah.
I was about to say, it's kind of a weird
Not sure
team
which
name.
one.
Right?
Yeah. I could also be wrong, but that's what Lao Por, I believe, does mean.
Okay. Interesting decision for the team name, but Patience is on it. I believe Patience and Impact were on it.
Both of them.
But of course, yeah. But of course, Impact, he has been confirmed to go to the military soon, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, rip our pimp pack.
Yeah, rip. Yeah, we're getting to that time where, you know, everyone's going to be going at some point or another. It's a cold reality. But these two, reality being one of them actually, who's in the military. But yeah, these two are nuts. And
I was American.
What? No, you're
reality.
Thinking of God damn it, Yaku. Anyway, yeah, you know, we just getting a pretty standard PvP so far. No proxies out on the map.
Yeah, well, you say standard, but interestingly enough, both players have decided to go for a single gate or gateway core instead of double gate this time.
Oh, yeah, and obviously we are just taking a look here as Patience. He is hiding a probe here to the northern section of the map. I see some tech being thrown down, whether it's a robo.
Dark Shrine.
Dark Shrine.
It's gotta be the Dark Shrine.
You think so?
This is Patience. What we're talking about.
I don't know if Patience. He isn't the one who goes for Dark Shrines. He's the one who doesn't respond to them. He is, and yeah, we did just see the probe for Patience just go back home. Yeah, just having none of it.
All right, then. No proxies are going to be thrown out, I guess. I guess Patience just want to be super sure that Stats wasn't trying anything cheeky. Which is a fair thing to do. I think Stats has a reputation of being a very macro Protoss player. But he has thrown down those cheese builds every now and then just to try to keep his opponents on your toes.
Yeah, he does have the ability to be like versatile like that, and mix things up, even though he is for the most part known for being like that defensive Protoss player. And yeah, we'll see how this plays out, as at the moment they're just scouting each other. Patience, he goes in, he sees nothing too out of the ordinary. He does see the robo at least. So yeah, he should be, you know, relatively secure.
Doing it.
What?
He's doing it light.
Oh god.
Patience is going blink stalkers.
Of course he is. This is what Patience is known for. Maybe not for the best reason, but yeah.
Indeed. It's a little bit worrisome whenever Patience does decide, I'm gonna go Blink Stalker, says. You never really know. I feel like Patience reacts a little bit too quick when he goes into those situations where gotta be wanting to blink.
He you know, there are people
kind of
who
autopiloting his blinks.
Yeah, there are people who like see an opportunity and then they go for it. Patience, he just sees. He just he just goes in and he just blinks into whatever there is in front of him. Whether you know there are units, whether there's like something exposed or something vulnerable or not, he just goes in for better or worse. And you know sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. So it's not always bad. It's actually you could actually make a case that playing in that sort of style can be good, because you can look at it in a way where you're gonna get value either way, right? Whether it's positive value or negative value. So, you know, it's basically you miss all the shots that you don't take. I feel like that's how Patience views it.
It's one of those things where I feel like Patience, he has no fear, but it also could be because he doesn't know what to be afraid of. Like, you know, like, he exudes confidence.
He is. I want some of Patience energy. He's got that big blink energy.
He does, that big blink Patience energy, and yeah, we'll see how that comes into play. As you know, blink is done for Patience. Blink is on the way for Stats as well, so we'll have some blink on blink action.
Ooh my!
Oh my!
And I think Patience has kind of realized how this game is going to go out, so he's going to be the first player to be getting these Immortals. I do like this. He is trying to sneak in that third base while getting ready for this fight, so all Patience really has to do is trade evenly, and he'll know he'll be ahead in terms of economy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's his thought process, but something that he's unaware of is that Stats is taking his third, and it's actually the gold base, so he actually would have that. Yeah.
Yeah, Stats is going to be the one with that economic advantage, and now, something else I don't think Patience is aware of. Warp Prism, that same Warp Prism that he saw warp in with the main army, is going to be sneaking around and trying to go for some damage here. There is a proactive cannon here. As Stats, you know, he wanted to be, or Patience rather, wanted to be sure that Stats wasn't going for any sort of cheeky Stargate openings.
Yeah, and it's a little bit concerning as 5 probes have gone down. The Adepts are actually still in the natural, just chipping away at more probes. Meanwhile, the main armies, they actually didn't clash. You know, Stats, he tried to find a way in and just backed off.
Yeah, I did not want to go right into that choke point with double Immortals and a lot of centuries of energy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just both players reevaluating their situation. You know, what can I get done? Stats going for this double scout. A little bit excessive, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, the problem is that, like, Stats, obviously, he went across the map. He was at that third base location, the gold location of Patience, and then he checked the third, and he realized that he didn't really have to commit to a fight because he would be ahead economically because he's the one with the gold base, right? So there's nothing really pressuring him.
And meanwhile, as far as Patience is concerned, Stats just hasn't gone for an expansion yet.
Oh no, the probes!
The probes, rest as they evacuate, do get pounced on by these chargelets. This third base is going to be rendered completely moot. Stats not committing every single bit of army to that third base. He is instead looking to position himself in such a way where Patience is forced to come down his ramp and into him.
Yeah, and oh my god, that ramp of Patience, like it's like such a weird choke point. Like like the army is struggling to maneuver around it. Like it's not the best place to fight at the moment. And Stats, he just kills the third, backs off, and now he's even just more ahead economically.
Indeed he is. He's going to make use of that by transitioning to his late game, already going for this double Stargate play.
Oh my god, yeah, we've seen this a lot today. Like
ahead.
we've been casting a lot of PvP, and there's been a lot of Stargates. So Stats, like really, I imagine he's just gonna want to go for Phoenixes. Their main goal being to just pick up those disruptors.
Stats is such a big brain light.
Oh my god.
All right, so he saw that army of Patience. He saw that Patience was trying to go down south of the wall. What does he do? Immediately sends a couple of probes to this middle mineral location. Mines that out, and now he's looking to, no matter where Patience goes, Stats is looking to be ready for him.
Yeah, wherever Patience goes, Stats follows, as he is here on the south side of the map of Golden Wall. And yeah, like I'm just so concerned for Patience, because he's getting like a bunch of disruptors, which are great, but those Phoenixes for Stats, they're coming out slowly, one more at a time, and they're just gonna CC everything.
They really will, and that's gonna be a bit of an issue, because I really think that the disruptors are what's gonna be able to keep Patience. That's gonna be what's gonna be able to keep Patience into winning a fight. Stats, he's got the better upgrades for the time being. He's looking to be in a better position. His unit composition, I think, is a lot more favored right now. But here come the Purification Novas immediately. A lift with that Phoenix. This other base, nice force fields coming out. Fantastic force fields, even blocks everything from Patience from being able to come down. And once again, a third base is gonna be taken out. Patience, if he wasn't all in before, he's gonna be so insanely all in right now.
What a big brain play. He forces the army of Patience back into his main base, force fields him into his own main base, and now we have Stats pouncing on top of all the disruptors, focusing them all down, lifting them all as well. Ooh, some nice disruptor shots do go off, but yeah.
But that was the only one that wasn't immediately sniped or lifted up, and now it's just Stalkers and Immortals versus Stalkers. Okay, I lied, there are a couple of Archons in the mix. GG is called. Stats gonna be taking game number 1. Showing off that he really knows what he's doing. Very well thought out game plans there.
Yeah, he just did not let Patience get a third base. that was amazing.
Yeah, a lot of that did have to do with Stats. He was playing the game of vision. He knew that he needed to whatchamacallit, know exactly what his opponent was going to be doing.
Yeah. that was great to see. Stats utilize that, rotate his army around to the north, to the south, take that gold base as well, which was quite bold, but at the end of the day, like, for the most part, Stats had that that map presence, that map control, so he could, afford to do that, and yeah.
You really see how that can affect things, whether you win or lose. I'm just looking at the bracket right now, like, and I just realized the winner of this goes into the semifinals, and we are actually guaranteed tonight a foreigner in the finals, or semifinals, I should say.
Yeah, we do have Nice versus Special going on. I'm not too sure who is casting that series, but it's really cool to see one of them advance to the semis.
Yeah, we will. Right now, Special, at least in this side of the bracket, is our hope of breaking our PvP streak. We will eventually cast as EVP over on that top side of the semifinals, but yeah, it's all on you, Special.
Yes, this is our last PvP for a while, at least until potentially the finals, if both Protosses... Yeah.
I mean, we could always get Nice versus either Stats or Patience as our semifinals.
True. I mean, Nice is a strong player. I shouldn't dismiss him in this series against Special.
Like, I favor Special, but yeah, Nice. He's pretty nice. I'm sure you've never heard of that one before. And speaking of what you never heard on before, we are now on Ice and Chrome. And if you're wondering where the Ice and the Chrome are, they are in the RAM. So in the bottom left-hand corner map, spotting in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we do in fact have a blue Protoss coming down all the way from the land of Korea. He is the man himself, the Shield of Iron, Nick Fury, as some like to call him. And I got a question for you, Light. Are you free?
A Freak of TV.
Representing a Freak of Freaks, we have Stats. He's actually the only Freak of Freaks player tonight.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ice and Chrome LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Team LP. It is Patience.
LP. I'm waiting for someone to actually correct me and be like, actually, Lao Poe is only grandmother in this particular dialect. But in the dialect that is used by Team LP, it means something like, I don't know any Chinese. I gotta be honest with you, like.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it means something else. I'm not gonna lie.
Chinese has got a lot of dialects, and none of them can really agree on what means what.
Exactly. And speaking of not agreeing on what means what, we do have a proxy pylon from both players.
So that's going for that Robo. Are we going to see that Stargate coming out from Patience as this probe? It's patrolling. It's stopped light. What's it going to go for? A Robo as well.
What?
I do not remember the last time I've seen this. Like Robo versus Robo. Proxy Robo versus Proxy Robo.
You know what, Yaku? You know what? You don't remember because it's never happened before. We have a Robo versus Robo of all things on Ice and Chrome, and this is gonna get a little bit crazy.
Yeah, things are gonna start to heat up for pretty early on, and I do say that, but yeah, usually when we come into this Robo versus Robo sort of games, I have to imagine that the favor is gonna have to go to Stats just because he finished his Robo first, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird because Stats finished it first, but it's also closer to his own base, so it's further away from the base of Patience. Meanwhile, Patience has that better location closer to Stats, so aggressively, his Immortal may be able to get there a little bit sooner, question mark?
I guess
oh my god, Stats is gonna scout it!
He does, and he knows that it's being built. I actually think he saw it with his probe potentially, but not too sure on that one. And yeah, okay, so it's a good thing that Stats got his Robo facility close to his base, as you know, this is Stats we're talking about. He much prefers being on the defensive.
Exactly, like, I don't know if this is something that he had planned, but because of that, the Immortal is already here defensively, and with that defensive location, he just has a higher army supply here.
And he does, and he's also going to be able to reinforce this a lot better. So Patience already down to Stalker, and these are very slow warp-ins coming out right now for Patience.
Important to know that only gateways and I think, Robos don't affect the warp-ins, and oh god, what a
yeah, that is not what you want to have happen. GG's called. That's the wrong GG. Goddamn you, phone. And that's kind of the duality of PvP. You can get a lot of games like our Golden Wall game that really allows the Protoss players to showcase their fundamentals, and most of the other time you get these kind of games.
Yeah. Sometimes they're a lot longer, sometimes they're shorter. Either way, PvP, it's great. It's just all over the place. And yeah, I mean, I will say that we did get quite a bit of variety here, despite casting nothing but PvP so far. But we are finally going to be hopefully breaking out of that mold, as we are going to be getting into our semifinals next.
Indeed, we will. Dark versus Ragnarok should be finishing up pretty soon. Nice versus Specialist still on the way, and I gotta tell you, like, I did not expect Dark to sign up for this, or any of these ESL Pro Tours.
Yeah, Dark is one of the players like Maru or even Innovation, where like they kind of don't really show up for ESL Weekly, so it's really cool to see Dark show up, and hopefully this becomes a trend. Like, you know, we were talking about it I think last week, where Ultima League, you know, has all these like amazing like S-tier signups because it's been around for so long and it's become more commonplace, and we may see ESL Weeklies starting to kind of become that as well, as more players like SOS or Sue or even now Dark are coming in and playing for the first time.
Yeah, it definitely also helps that they do award those ESL Pro Tour points, as not to get a little bit, not to take this to a bit of a more cynical route, but Dark, he has been eliminated from the GSL now. So, yeah, really, I guess there's nothing holding him back. Doesn't need to hide any builds or anything.
Yeah, he can just solely focus on, you know, on these tournaments here. GSL isn't holding back, like, his, you know, hiding any builds, as you were saying, or anything like that. So yeah, it's really cool to see him here, and hopefully he's able to, you know, perform well, right? Like, I can't remember the last time we were able to cast Dark. It would have been IEM Katowice, if that, right?
I don't think we've ever casted Dark, because Dark already got defeat this year's IEM. Yeah, because he won BlizzCon.
So this could be a first here, assuming that Dark advances. To be fair, he's going up against a pretty tricky Zerg player at the moment, in Ragnarok.